Accuracy is essential in a game like Valorant. Even the most minuscule differences in accuracy determine either a killing headshot in one tap or an annoying bruise in the leg. One of the biggest factors that affects accuracy in Valorant is your character's movement. As long as you're standing still, you have 100% accuracy on your first bullet, and any movement or deceleration causes you to have less accuracy. This can give newer players a tougher time peeking a corner, thanks to the peeker being in motion when doing the peeking. The way to alleviate this is something that we're going to be talking about today. A simple mechanic that will increase your first shot accuracy even while in motion. This is how to counter-strafe. Strafing is the term used for most kinds of movement that can happen in-game. If your character is running to the right, you're strafing right, and the same goes for left, forward, and backwards. Counter-strafing is the act of going to the opposite direction after your initial strafe. Simply tapping the opposite direction of where you're currently going will put you in a state of counter-strafing. Here is why this is important. To demonstrate, we will be turning on the movement error option for crosshairs. For any direction or movement your character makes, the crosshair will expand, reflecting the accuracy of your first shot. What you want is your first shot to be as close to 100% accurate to where your crosshair is while moving. When you stop your character from going one direction by letting go of a direction key, your character decelerates slowly. So when you peek a corner and let go of your direction key, your character will not have 100% first shot accuracy, because of that deceleration. This is where counter-strafing comes into play, as it actually cancels the deceleration state faster than letting go of the movement key. This is visible through the crosshair. When you counter-strafe, your crosshair shrinks faster than it normally would if you were to just let go of the movement key. Comparing the two crosshairs may seem like there isn't too much of a difference, but the difference is there in the milliseconds of getting that first bullet accuracy. Counter-strafing can be practiced in the shooting range. Stand a few steps away from the wall and practice the motion of going left and right at a fast pace. Now try shooting a bullet just as you're about to move in the opposite direction. You'll notice that even though there is movement involved, the first bullet accuracy is almost always accurate to where the crosshair is. Obviously, after the first few bullets there will be recoil, but counter-strafing helps so that your first shot is almost always guaranteed to land to where you'll set it up to be, hopefully the head. Counter-strafing isn't only helpful for accuracy, it can also help develop good habits when playing, as it has similar motions to shoulder peeking. Shoulder peeking is the act of slightly showing a part of your character at an angle, baiting out your opponent's first few shots to mess up the recoil. Both share similar traits of tapping the left and right key at a fast pace, and both can be used when peeking. There has been some discussion within the Valorant community whether counter-strafing has a huge benefit versus normally moving, but the difference is actually bigger than you might think. There is a 0.04 seconds of difference between counter-strafing and not. 0.04 seconds may not sound like a lot, but to put it in simpler terms, think of 0.4 seconds as 40 milliseconds of frame advantage lost. Imagine playing Valorant with 40 milliseconds of ping versus 80 milliseconds. The one with 40 milliseconds of ping obviously has an advantage, since they will see the enemy faster than someone with 80. Counter-strafing may also be the reason why it feels like your opponent peeking angles aggressively is getting headshots on you so easily. Valorant developer Nick Wu mentions how Valorant's mid-range is very lenient onto how accurate your shots are. Having the advantage of 40 milliseconds of ping through counter-strafing and forgiving accuracy by the game's intentions gives you a heavy advantage when it comes to gun duels.
Our accuracy doesn't need to be binary, in the sense that, you know, you don't need to be perfectly still to be perfectly accurate, or like perfectly still. I think you need to be perfectly still to be perfectly accurate. But I don't think any amount of movement should make it so that you're wildly inaccurate.
Counter-strafing may take some time getting used to, as any other mechanic in any other game does, but it will ultimately help you become a better peeker and a better player in the long run. Hopefully learning and applying this mechanic in-game will help you become Valorant in Valorant.